Hello MGTOW Nation, this is the Dark Knight. Welcome to the Batcave. So to start, I will start by reading some comments. So there was a user, Janky Jenkkimie, said, excellent video, Dark Knight, definitely saving this on my playlist. Hey, if you want to bring forth that information based on videos, then I advise dabbling to the world of psychology, especially evolutionary psychology and of course biology. That is a subject of human interactions. I wish I had resources to start my psychology-based MGTOW channel, but a few more years before I get my PhD, so that I can start talking about these things when I get resources and full qualifications as an expert to talk about them. Of course, I know a lot already, but having certification always helps, not only in confirming my own confidence that I know things through and through, but also as a credibility factor as well. Just the other day, Karen Strawhan video, I met my first MGTOW groupie who tried to persuade me to look up for women's movements that supposedly support this. Presumably, she told me that women are talking about MGTOW a lot and observing what is going on. And then he goes on to talk about how this groupie was just basically an echo chamber, what he said. And first of all, I'd like to just give a shout out to this user, because as he said, he's going for his PhD in psychology. So if I do psychology videos in the future, which I totally will, I'm going to absolutely defer to you, Janky Me, because you're the expert on this. So whenever I do a video, please pipe up. If there's anything you have to add, correct, anything, I'd like to hear it, because you can bring a whole new, really professional perspective to this. I'm biochemistry, I'm not a psychologist, but I try to dabble in it. So please, guys, look out for him. Let's encourage him to make his own channel, because I think he really would have something interesting to put forth to the conversation. Thank you, SK Donchi, for saying I have the intelligence of a Jedi. I'm a Jedi, I'm a Star Wars nerd, so that is a very big compliment to me. I really appreciate it. Also want to give a shout out to a user that commented on my video, the diet advice, Ryan M. Stack. It seems that Ryan, he's a personal trainer, so he really knows his stuff in this aspect. So guys, he said you could you could contact him for advice. So guys, if you have any advice, I'm going to defer to Ryan M. Stack. I'll make more fitness videos in the future, but Ryan, if you have anything to say on my videos and stuff on that, or if you have your professional opinion, I and all the other users would really, really love to hear it. So now on to the topic. So I'm going to go over a topic and I'm going to give a controversial opinion on it. And well, it's a simple topic of, I believe in order for us to transcend, to rise above our biology, to be MGTOWs and to be the most productive individuals in ourselves and moving the world forward, that sometimes we have to cut dead weight. And in terms of dead weight, I'm talking about dead-end relationships, because I think that many men, I've been in this situation as well, many men, myself included, we are in or we have been in dead-end relationships, and they suck the life out of us. They suck the life out of us dry, but they also kept us from reaching our full potential. And I think that based on the statistics of marriage and divorce, I think that many men, before they're getting married, obviously are already in the wrong relationship. And I have a feeling that there are a lot of purple pill men or even red pill men that are floating around and that don't know whether they should break up with their girlfriend or not. And I'm going to make the case that you should break up with your girlfriend. Now, before you guys flame me and say, not every, I have a great relationship, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about you guys. If after you listen to this, you still think your relationship is great, then by all means, go for it. I'm not saying that you can't have a great relationship with a woman. I'm saying that I think that many of the relationships men are in right now are not so great, and I'm going to make the case that in order to grow as a person, to start our journey of transcendence, to grow the MGTOW movement, we have to cut the dead weight, and it's going to start with cutting these toxic women out of our lives. So to start, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Now, imagine just me talking to you. I'm not talking down to you. Imagine these are the same questions that I would ask my friends if they're in a relationship and I didn't think it was going well, or that the girl wasn't for them. So is she emotionally manipulative? So, for instance, does she use sex as a bargaining chip to get what she wants? At this point, if you guys are listening to this and you're questioning your relationship, I'm sure you've watched a plethora of MGTOW videos on female emotional manipulation, so I won't have to go over that. You know what manipulation is, and if you don't, go around on the MGTOW videos. They will break it. Go around on my videos even. We will break it down for you, how and why females manipulate you, and things you can look for. So one common tactic of manipulation, as I said, is just using sex as a bargaining chip. Is she acting like having sex with you is doing you the biggest favor in the world? Is she withholding sex if she doesn't get what she wants? Is she being passive aggressive, saying it's not a big deal, but then of course it is a big deal, and later you just get like the shit beat out of you verbally when she suddenly explodes at you for no particular reason, saying that what wasn't a big deal is a big deal. And this leads me right into the next question. Do you feel like your home is a war zone? In that sense, are these constant shit tests that she's putting you through, and they are shit tests, do you feel like you're walking on eggshells when you go home? And do you dread going home? If you're living with her, do you dread going home? Do you dread going back to a house where you feel like you have no freedom? Do you feel like when you go in the house that you kind of have to tiptoe around her and you can't really walk in the house and be yourself? And when you go in the house, do you feel like you have to censor what you have to say because you just don't want to start a fight, or you don't want to you just don't want to make anything a big deal? Is the home your place, your retreat, or has it become a war zone? The home should be where you feel most comfortable. Now, with this constant stress in the home, I'm going to ask you, how's your sleep? Are you sleeping well? Honestly. Now, other things other than a stressful girlfriend can cause us to not sleep well, of course, but those things we're usually cognitively aware of, like, okay, I have a hard day at work, or I know I have the next day at work is going to be rough. I generally will not get very good sleep, but I know why I'm not getting good sleep. And then the next night after I've gone over that hard day, I go back to sleep, the stress is over. Or is your sleep pattern effed up and you don't know why? But here's something that's real telling. When she goes out of town, right, and she's out of the house and there's no stressor, or she's just not around, do you feel more at ease? And if you feel more at ease, are you sleeping better? Do you feel better physically and mentally? Do you feel like you can... Is going home, is it a pleasure to go home when she's out of town? I also want you to take notice of when she texts or contacts you during the day. Now, when you get a text from her, is it exciting that you get a text from her? Do you want to talk to her? Or do you kind of have an aversion when you see her name on the phone? You just have this like gut feeling. It's like, oh God, she's contacting me. I remember when I was with my girlfriend in college, late college, after went to grad school, we went long distance, and she would text me and always like yell at me for some random shit. I remember just seeing her name on the phone would just give me this reaction. I would just dread getting a text from her because I knew it would be something else. And of course then I would dread the phone calls from her. Have you unknowingly begun to dread coming in contact with her? Since she came into your life, how are your relationships with your friends, and more importantly, and equally as importantly, how's your relationship with your friends and family? Have you suddenly stopped hanging out with your friends all of a sudden because maybe she's taking up all your time, and that she's dropped these hints that she doesn't really like your friends for some odd reason? How's your relationship with your family? Do you talk with your family as much as you used to before she was around? Or suddenly now that she's around, is she kind of jockeying to be the everything in your life and to completely overtake your attention? Have your relationships degraded since she came into your life? And so then it goes, I want to talk about finances. Is she enhancing or parasitizing your life? In that sense, first of all, are you in the red in your finances? Okay, if you were in the red before, fine. Are you more in the red now that she's in your life? Are those dinner dates getting a little more expensive? Is she pulling her weight financially equally when you go on dates, rent, whatever? Okay, are your finances more in the red since she came into your life? Is she giving back as much monetarily as you are? And if not, then the answer is she is parasitizing your life. She is taking more than she is giving, and she is a leech, and she is a suck on you. Financially, and financially is where it hits the hardest. So you just look at your finances before and after, and look at the expenditures. Where are they coming from the most? And are the frivolous expenditures coming mostly from her? Now, if you want to be in a relationship for the rest of your life, a monogamous relationship, fine. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I understand. But I want to ask you this one very, very hard, very, very hard, very, very deep question. So when it is all said and done, when you have lived your life, when you're on your deathbed and you're dying and you're 10, 20 breaths away from your last breath, and let's say she's still alive, do you want this girl, the one you're looking at right now, your girlfriend, do you want her to be the one holding your hand when you have nothing, when you are about to pass on? Do you want her holding your hand on your deathbed? That's a big question, but think about it seriously. If it is not an unequivocal yes, then you have problems. Then she is clearly not the one, because that's what it all comes down to. If you want a life partner, then you want the life partner. You want her to be there all the way up until the end. If you're thinking to yourself, wow, she's the last person I would want sitting next to me on my deathbed, then it is time to jump ship. But here's something that's even more telling that you can do right now. I want you to get up, and I want you to go in your bathroom. That's generally where the mirror is. And no one has to be around. Just listen to my voice. Bring the computer. Don't bring in the computer. Just listen to my voice. And I'm going to ask you this question while you're looking yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. Can you tell yourself, while looking straight-faced at yourself in the mirror, that you are actually happy in this relationship? Can you tell yourself, look at yourself in the frickin' eyes, and actually tell yourself, and no bullshit, actually believe that you are happy? Or are you just lying through your teeth, and have you already just kind of looked away, feigned looking at the mirror, feigned looking at yourself, because you can't fess up that you are actually unhappy? If you're looking away and you really can't unequivocally say that you're happy in this relationship, then it is time to cut the dead weight. Let's boil this down even more to the right now. Have you accomplished your dreams? Are your goals clear? And it's okay if you haven't accomplished your dreams right now. I mean, dreams can take a lifetime to accomplish. Do you feel like every day that you're with her that you are closer to accomplishing your dreams, or did when you get with her suddenly your kind of dreams went on the back burner and apathy took over, and your dreams, although you think about them sometimes, you're really not moving forward. You're just kind of in a state of limbo. And I'm asking you, are you accomplishing your dreams in her presence, or has she kind of shut the brakes on you on that one? I think it was the comedian Bill Burr who said, he's like, how many potential Steve Jobs or Bill Gates are out there that will never be realized because, some bitch told them to get it, to get a normal job. Just man up and get a job, okay? Is that what she's doing to you? Is she just trying to stick you into a position, the position that she wants, so that she can use you, so that you can just be a utility, and so that you can just be her little soldier, giving her resources every single day? Fuck that. I'm asking you, are you actually moving towards your dreams? Are your goals clearer than ever? How's your head? Is your head clear? Do you have a mission? And are you going every day to accomplish that mission? Because let's be honest, as men, if we have a mission, we have dreams, we have clear goals, and we're moving towards them every day, little by little, that's when we're the happiest. We're not, you can give us all the sex we want. At first, it's great. But after a while, if there's no purpose, if there's nothing to conquer, if there's nothing to dream for, if there's nothing to attain, nothing higher than just our base level instincts, then what the hell are we doing? We're no better than the cavemen that we supposedly evolved from. I know that I've asked you very, very hard questions, especially the men who are in relationships, and especially if you're unsure of your relationship, because you're scared to ask these questions. But just because it's scary to ask them does not mean they shouldn't be asked. Now, if you're in these types of relationships, I'm telling you, you know the answer already. You know that you need to get out. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. But I'm not telling you, I'm begging you. And I'm begging you because if you have a dream, if you think you have some type of talent, something that you can give to the world, something that can help move the world, help move something forward in some way, and she is holding you back. She is holding back the incremental progress that you could give to the world. The world needs you. The world needs your talents. The world needs your hard work. MGTOW needs you. Okay, we need you. MGTOW, as I've said, is only as strong as our weakest link. And if we have men that are unhappily bound up in these relationships that are not reaching their full potential, then MGTOW can only go so far. Now, many of us have stayed in these relationships, or you're in this relationship right now, because at the end of the day, you're not in it because you actually are in love. You're in it because you're afraid. And that's okay. I understand. You're afraid because it's the common fear. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to die alone. You think, oh my God, what if this is the last girl? What if this is the last one? What if no other girl will ever like me, love me? Okay, that's complete bullshit. But let's do what I always do. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say you break up with her, okay, and she's the last girl. But you break up with her, and you never get with another girl in your life. But with all that new time that you have, you go on to do something great, to achieve your dreams and to live a life of full happiness and to move the world forward. And you could do something amazing. You could touch 1, 10, 1,000 people with your work. Who knows? Okay? And at the end of your life, you may not be with a woman, but you are beloved by all those people that you have helped in your life. And you have left a lasting mark on the world, and that your work, your life will be written down, maybe just a sentence, maybe a paragraph, maybe a whole book somewhere in history. Personally, I would rather, if I'm going to have to do an extreme, I would rather choose that over being in a mediocre, unhealthy relationship and then just having someone's hand to hold at the end of my life that I didn't even like or love. I'm simply asking you men, I know it's going to be hard, to get out of these relationships and to try to reach for your full potential, because MGTOW can only go as far as our members allow it to be. We can only be as strong as innovative. We can only have this renaissance if every one of us is firing on all cylinders. I can't do it alone. No other man can do it alone. We need, as much as we are going our own way, we all need to break free from these chains, from these societal norms, from our mental chains, from our physical chains, and be able to, as I said, transcend. Without all of us working towards this transcendence, it cannot happen. We need as much manpower as possible. As many MGTOW have touted before me, and what I'm going to retell it, it's time to walk away from these institutions, and it's time to walk away from the custodians of these institutions. One of the very big ones is marriage. And who's the main custodian of that? Who's part of the society that's pushing that the most? Women are. It's time, if you're in a bad relationship, to walk away from them, not only for your own health, but for that of the world, okay? They're holding you back from doing things that are potentially amazing. And not only that, and more selfishly, they are holding you back from living a fulfilling life. As a happening, MGTOW is evolving constantly. It's evolving and it's growing more than ever. And so to do that, we should, and I hope we all will, we will grow as a whole together. And part of this first growth needs to be getting over our addiction to women and getting out of these bad relationships. And then after that, after we have repaired, after we have healed, after we can all come together and we are focused and we know what we need to do, then we can go on and we can really start to change the world with all the manpower that we have that is growing every single day. And I truly believe this. So for all those blue pillars, purple pillars, or even red pillars that are in bad relationships, that have had these women holding them back and that are afraid to get out of them, I'm telling you, you need to take the leap. Take the leap and start living life and start chasing after your dream. But moreover, come back to MGTOW with us. Come back and let's grow together and let's change the world. Really, let's do this. So let's keep this happening going strong, and let's take this happening to the next level, and let's start to transcend.